I'm just going to let the clips play. Alright, so for any of you guys that do not know, I have been playing Arknights for about 3 months now, and in that time I managed to compile this squad, mainly based on the Abyssal Hunters, because they are my favorite faction in the game. Now, I'm pretty happy with my progress so far, but as you could imagine, getting all medals on any event, let alone the massive travels, was literally living hell. Especially for a beginner like me. Now, I decided to torture myself because the Arknights gods blessed me with XCI altar in just 20 pulls, which is, that's absurdly lucky. So, in honor to this limited banner, I decided to clear the whole event completely and without guides from veteran players. Now, I did break that rule at the end a little because I started to go insane. So I cleared the glimpse at the shrine levels pretty easily and without any support units to speak of too. The only stage that actually gave me some trouble was MS-10, but I managed to beat it after a few tries using Amiya's S3. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any footage of this because at the time I wasn't fully committed to making this a full video, but don't worry, the torture hasn't even started yet. Hold up, before we go here, I need to tell you guys my strategy that I use for the stages, cause it's actually getting really hard now. So I kindly borrowed Alpianas from the support units and put them down with my level 3 module Gladia to achieve a nigh unreachable blue box. Then I used XCI Altar for the high DPS and voila, we got a pretty good chance at survival. Now this actually worked like a charm. Except when it didn't. Alright, so from here on out, Gladia and Alpianas were the backbone of pretty much every stage here, up until MTEX8, which is where things really started to ramp up in difficulty. I just want to show you guys my live reaction to seeing the boss's third face for the first time. What?! So yeah, not a really pleasant experience. Now, the challenge modes of these stages actually took me about half an hour per stage, and I really struggled on almost every stage, most noticeably on EX1, 2, 3, and 6. But all those stages pale in comparison to how hard MTEX8 challenge mode was. This was, up until this point, the hardest stage I had ever faced in Arknights. But spoiler alert, it didn't hold that spot for very long. Now, since this is the first truly hard stage in here, I'm gonna walk you guys through my thought process here. Alright, so for phase 1 of the boss, you actually just need to place down Alpianas, XCI, and Gladia. I mean, my Alpianas has skill 2 equipped here, XCI as well, and I mean, these guys just shred the first phase of the boss. So phase 2 is a little bit more problematic. Immediately as the boss appears, place down Amiya, Ines, and Thelopsis in his range. Now, I do this to ensure Amiya lives, and you don't really care about the other 2 units that much. They can die, but Amiya has to live. Now, Amiya's S3 is how I take care of this phase of the boss, so immediately when Amiya awakens, activate her S3 and the boss should be dead. Now, one other thing to note here is that after the boss dies, you wanna place down as many tanks or just units with multiple lives on the battlefield as possible, because when he appears in his third phase, he's gonna shoot all over the battlefield and you want him to hit those units because you do not care about them. And also you gotta set up Spectre and Skadi for the third phase, because they are going to be the ones that are gonna kill the boss. Ah, the fabled third phase. I died here so many times, and I still don't really know 100% how to beat it. I mean, the Abyssal Hunters and XUI do most of the work here, but you still need Thalopsis to heal, you still need Lumen to trigger the ability of the boss, and it's just, I think there's a lot of RNG involved here, so yeah, I think I just got lucky with this clear. So the most important thing actually here is to keep your 3 operators on the left side and make sure the boss uses his laser attack on your right side, because that attack is so strong it deals true damage, but Ulpianus just doesn't care, so you gotta make sure he uses that, and the way you make sure that is by having the most operators there, because the laser is going to hit the side with most operators, and if there are the same number of operators, for example 3, he's gonna choose the one with the most recently deployed unit. So you just wanna get all your units out onto the right side and make sure he does not laser beam the side with Skadi, Spectre, and Thalopsis. Also make sure to use Thalopsis' ability, it really helps out. Oh my god! Yes! Yeah.
You always win, just like the old days. But this time, your joy is real.
Sanity. Oh my god. Jesus. I think the title of these stages really says it all. I actually went into these expecting them to be much easier than stages from an audience with God, but holy Jesus, this was where the torture truly began, if that's even possible. I personally struggled most with MTS 2, 3, 4 and 5, so pretty much all of them, and on challenge mode, oh my god. Now unfortunately I do not have the footage of me clearing these, except for MTS 3, because my storage was at its limits, and it still is while I'm making this video, but these stages truly showed me what the hell in this game was like. I finally gave in and used Vishadal for some stages, and funnily enough, she did not help at all. I ended up using Lemuel for MTS 4 and 5, and she provided me with much better results. When beating these on challenge mode, I actually started raging and hit my desk more than once out of pure anger that I have to restart them, because every ability activation and second counted here, and if I messed up one little detail I would have to start all over again. Now, I gotta admit, I did use Kiostin's guide on MTS 5 challenge mode, because I almost lost my IRL sanity at that point, but yeah, after so long, I had finally beaten these freaking stages. Now, I was also sick when recording my MTS 3 clear. I'm also a little sick right now, but yeah, then I legit couldn't speak that day, so there's no dialogue, there's no reaction to me beating it, because I was just silent, just staring at it. But yeah, here's the last footage of the day, my MTS 3 challenge mode clear. Let's go. So yeah, I think the conclusion that I have come to after taking on this torturous task is that it was all worth it for the few pixels on screen that display how good I am. Also, this video took more than 7 hours to make with 10 hours of footage, so I am beyond exhausted right now. Max out your Spectre. Goodbye.